every now and then. Leave it on the Facebook. Good morning, Unity of Fort Wayne. Yay! We have 6 people on YouTube Live right now with us. If you guys at any point want to add your name to the chat box so we can say hello to you, that would be fabulous. And we have in our sanctuary this morning, I turned my mic on and it's not on me, but you can hear it. On our sanctuary this morning, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 people. So we're delighted to be back here together again. And everybody's far enough away that I am going to take my mask off. Yay. It is such a delight to be here with everybody and all of our folks online. This is an audience participation day. Bonnie just said good morning to all of us. So you'll see me checking the monitor, which is something unusual. I'll be checking the monitor from time to time so I can say hello to people. Bill Hackett is with us. Everybody say hi, Bill. Hi, Bill. So we are excited to be here and to be back together and to be connecting online as well. Unity Fort Wayne Spiritual Center is a vibrant, inclusive community that is here to inspire others to know their divine nature. And so whether you're with us online now or later, or you're in the sanctuary, we hope that you leave here today inspired, and that you live inspired too. I'm definitely feeling inspired just to see everybody back in the same place again. So we are going to light our Christ candle to begin our service. We light the Christ candle to remind us of the divine light that's always within us, no matter what. And our affirmation this morning is, I open to divine wisdom. So I invite you to take a breath in and to say, I am open. I am open. And exhale divine wisdom. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathe in. I am open. And exhale to divine wisdom. 1 more time. Breathe in. I am open. And breathe out to divine wisdom. Yay. So I invite you at this time, and I hand out a couple more pearls of wisdom. If you're not with us and you want a pearl of wisdom, if you email me, I will send you a pearl of wisdom today. So Wanda and Marge have joined us. You can go see really, you need 2 pearls. And so I invite you to take a breath in and to close your eyes. Bow your head if that's part of your faith tradition. As we open this time together in prayer. We breathe into that divine wisdom within us. We breathe into that divine light. We breathe in knowing that there is nowhere where God is not. We breathe into that love that connects each and every one of us as a part of the same family, humanity. We breathe in knowing in our inner being that all is well, that there is enough. There are enough resources, there is enough love, enough peace and harmony, enough joy. There is enough for everyone. We open our hearts, our minds, our souls to this evolutionary process that we are in the midst of. Choosing to see opportunity instead of crisis. Choosing to see beauty instead of darkness. Choosing to see the presence that is everywhere present in this moment. In this space of divine wisdom, I invite you, whether you are home or here with me in our sanctuary, to whisper aloud the names of those who are on your hearts and minds this morning. In this vibration, we hold Unity Fort Wayne Spiritual Center, G&K, Cat, CTN, the Brown, Cheryl, Juan, the Esons, Sherry O, Bosco, Becca, Patricia, Scott and Tristan, Anna B, Barb B, Harriet, Unity Worldwide Ministries, Mary and Ron B, B&T, Andy, the Bales, the Harrells, Kaya, Archer, the Westfalls, G&J, Teresa, Scott K. Jr. and wife, Ramona, Judy, Ruth B., Joy B., Helen R., Marilyn W., Don and Mary P., Bob, Lois, Christy. We breathe in knowing that the light that shines within us shines in each of these names. Knowing that the divine inner wisdom that lies within us also lies within them. We breathe in knowing that they are in the constant loving care of a source that is inexhaustible. For this and the blessings of being together, we say thank you. And so it is, women, children, amen. So many of our musicians have decided to wait another week or two before they bless us with their presence here in the sanctuary. And Sue and Cindy both have agreed to be our solo artists for the next couple of weeks. So we are so delighted to have Sue and her musical gifts and abilities here with us this morning. And she will be performing our special music today. Lovely. Wow. I just have to kind of settle in a moment. So you need to know that I've been broadcasting live from my prayer and meditation room in my ugly green chair. Now, unlike many of our popular stars, I have been wearing pants However, I do not promise that those pants have ever been coordinated with whatever top you see. And most likely, I don't have shoes on or I have my Grinch slippers. So being back in front of you and being back in our space again is a novel and new experience for me as well. And I'm very grateful to be here. So apparently we have about 10 people that got lost who are trying to find their way to us. But Catherine Rumschlag and Marcia and Jim Wolpe have joined us, and Lois and Patricia, so we're glad that they're here. And Di just gave new instructions to our other folks that got lost, and hopefully they'll find us on cyberspace. So I just want to mention, as we get ready for the rest of the service, that thanks to Marcia and Jim Wolpe and Marcia's nephew Chance, we applied for a grant for $5,000 from Center for Congregations, and we were awarded that grant to buy cameras and laptops and live streaming. And so I promise all of you that have been patient and watching that it's just going to get better and better, because we're going to get better and better at using technology and reaching out to people so that no matter where you are, whether you're in this building or outside of this building, you can always stay connected. I think for me, that's been one of the great lessons of COVID-19, that heart and soul are not contained within a building, not even within a body, that we are always connected, regardless of what form we're in or where we're at or how we're contained. So I'm really grateful for that lesson. So May has been all about the Masters, May with the Masters. So Stephen and I had a great time on the first Sunday in May talking about some of the masters that had influenced us and what it means to be a master, and kind of how we are being called, I think now more than ever, being called into a place of mastery. We're having to learn self-mastery, right? How to take care of ourselves, how to master our own emotions, master our own thoughts. We are also being called to take that to other people. I believe part of being a master is teaching your students in a way that expects them to do what you have done and greater things. And Jesus said that to his disciples at one point. He said, "These things and greater things shall you do." And so teachers, masters, to me, are wisdom teachers. They're passing their wisdom on to us. And wisdom is one of our 12 powers. It's one of our innate abilities. Charles Fillmore taught that God is wisdom, and therefore wisdom is natural to us. So when they impart their wisdom to us, they are encouraging us to live in that way. So when you think about wisdom, my audience, both online and in person, what are the words that come to mind? What does it mean? What is wisdom? What is it?
Inner knowledge.
Inner knowledge. What else? Experience. What else? Anybody online? What is wisdom? Sherry, I'm glad you found us. Inner knowledge, experience. What makes someone wise? Experience. Yeah. So wisdom, I love that you guys used experience, because wisdom is knowledge and it is experience, right? So true wisdom is really about applied knowledge. It's about taking what we know and applying it to our decision making, applying it to the way that we live. And we do that. Linda Martello Whitsitt, who is Vice President of Silent Unity at Unity Worldwide Ministries, says that wisdom has 3 components. It has mental evaluation. So the first part of becoming wise is learning to pause. Anybody been pausing lately? I think I've paused so much that that myself, and I need to take a vacation away from each other. So part of wisdom is mental evaluation. It's about learning to pause and step back. One of the gifts that Martha Creek, one of my mentors, gave me was she reminded me of this old detective show, and some of us, probably most of us in the room may remember it, Dragnet. And the detective in that show would always say, "Just the facts, ma'am, just the facts." And that's one of the things that Martha impressed upon me, is that wisdom is really about taking a step back so that I can see what is fact and what is Glenda's fiction, which most often resembles Glenda's fantasy about the way it should be, the way it should have been, could have been, might have been, you know. So facts versus fiction. So mental evaluation. Also, wisdom has this component of spiritual discernment. That's where the spiritual teachers step in, is they teach us how to turn within. I believe that we each have a compass that lives right here. We have an internal compass. I heard somebody once call it a God positioning system. And I like that because I'm very dependent on my GPS. I can be a bit geographically challenged. I did not mention that to Lois Worley when she and I were traveling down the river and I had no idea where we were going. But I was a little challenged. However, we did make it safely, as noted by the fact I'm here today. So spiritual discernment, that being able to turn within and listen to that internal God positioning system, those words of wisdom. And the last component of wisdom is intuition. Now, I've heard people say they have no intuition, and I just don't believe that's true. I believe that we come into this world with this gut feeling. And I believe everybody experiences. Now, some of us learn how to ignore it, and it gets us into lots of trouble. But most of us have that gut feeling, right, that says, oh, this is really a bad idea. So wisdom is about using all of those tools to take the next right action, to make the best decision for our highest and greatest good. And so I've asked people all week long to send me their words of wisdom, those pearls that act as a compass to help guide their lives. And so I took those and I put them on a piece of paper and I handed them out to people that walked through. And like I said, if you would like one, you can leave me your email address and I'd be happy to email you your very own pearl of wisdom. Who would like to share their pearl? You don't have to say anything but read the piece of paper, I promise. Who would like to share their pearl of wisdom that they got today? Sue.
Joy is not in things, it is in us, by Richard Posner.
Joy is not in things, it is in us. What's an example of that in your own life? How do you cultivate joy? So everyone knows that I love kayaks, so you can imagine what I was doing yesterday. I was in my happy place. I was on the water with my beautiful pink flamingo that I got for my birthday last year attached to the back. And it brought me such joy. People would like we had a guy that followed us down the canal just so he could say, I really love you. I didn't know what that was behind your kayak, so I had to follow you so I could see that it was a flamingo. Joy. How do we cultivate joy? How do you cultivate joy? Anyone?
I was in the garden yesterday.
Hope worked in her garden. And how brought her joy, that being in the dirt? Wanda?
Sunday, 10:30.
Sunday at 10. Judy says Sunday at 10:30. She was really excited to be here today. Yes. Marge. Marge's granddaughter came to visit her for a week, and that brought her joy. So cultivating joy. So the thing about the pearls of wisdom is that they really don't mean anything, and they're really not lies unless we take them in and we use them. So unless we are willing to cultivate joy, it's not really a pearl of wisdom. We are the ones that make them pearls because we use them. Who else would like to share one of their pearls? Wanda.
Wake up, don't go back to sleep, and that's from Rumi.
So Rumi, wake up, don't go back to sleep. Wake up, don't go back to sleep. What are the things that we can do to stay awake? Sundays at 10:30. What else can we do to stay awake? Be in the moment. I just really believe that that in many ways the virus has been a blessing. And maybe that's because I just choose to look at it that way, but I really believe it's been a blessing because we have had to slow down. We have had to be present because every moment has changed, right? From moment to moment, day to day, our lives have changed. And so we've really had to be present and be in the moment. How else do we stay awake? Meditate. Absolutely. Tuning in and meditating definitely helps us be one. Awesome. All right, another pearl. Who has another pearl to share? Marge.
There is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path to it.
Ooh, there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Wow. I like it. All right, so happiness. You know, we chase happiness. Some of us chase happiness. Actually, most people I know chase happiness. And it seems to me the more we chase it, the more it eludes us, yeah? And so how do we find happiness without chasing it? Allow it. How else? Any other ideas around this idea of happiness? Expect it, right? Expect to be happy. Concept. Expect that you're going to be happy. Anything else around happiness? How we cultivate happiness?
Grateful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Be grateful. I've spent a lot of time on my swing, just being grateful that I can be on my swing, right? And sit outside and listen to the birds. And I watched it rain this morning. That was my meditation this morning before church as I sat out on my porch swing and listened to the rain. And was just grateful. Grateful for the rain and grateful for life. Any other ways that we cultivate happiness? All right, another pearl of wisdom? Who has another pearl of wisdom to share?
The Dalai Lama says it always seems impossible until it's done.
Ooh, Dalai Lama, it always seems impossible until it's done. I totally believe that too, Nancy. I totally believe that. The impossible. I used to love, there was a line when they redid Alice in Wonderland. There was a line that she said about her father, that every morning before my father finished his tea, he thought of 1,000 impossible things. You know, it's that thinking about what's impossible that can be made possible. I think that we've proven that, right? In the time that we've been apart, people would have thought it was impossible for us to stay connected. I know from talking to other ministers, there was so much fear that these churches were going to close, that we could not survive without people coming in our doors, that people wouldn't support us, that we wouldn't be able to keep the lights on, we wouldn't be able to pay the mortgage. And that has proven not to be the case. It's proven not to be the case. That a church can exist, and it can exist inside and outside of a building. An impossibility that became possible. And so how do we live into that truth? That things seem impossible until they're done. How do we live into that truth? Expect the unexpected. Yes. What else? What about if, even though it's impossible, we did it anyway? What if we did it anyway? That could be an anthem for my life, truly. I never met an impossibility I didn't want to challenge. Like, or Jane and I laugh a lot about, we grew up in an era where there was a lot of girls can't do that. Girls can't be good at that. And she and I were both rule breakers. You know, it's like, oh yeah? What? We can be better than any guy. So watch us, right? So yes, what if we decided to do it anyway, even if it seemed impossible? What if we had to do it anyway? Yeah, right, Nancy? I think we've been challenged through this time to do things we thought were impossible. So it's been good for us. That's been a blessing too, to find out what we're made of, the grit that we're made of. You know, sometimes we don't know what we're made of until the impossibility becomes possible, until we step out on that limb and take a chance. Another pearl of wisdom that someone would like to share. Teresa.
Listen to your life. See it for the faithless, I'm not sure how mystery it is, in the boredom and pain of it, no less than in its excitement and gladness. Touch, taste, smell your way to the holy and hidden heart of it. Because in the analysis, all moments are key moments, and life itself is grace. Frederick Buechner.
I'm going to borrow that so that I can read it. So everybody on my line can hear it. Well, I typed it, so that's trouble in and of itself. Listen to your life. See it for the fathomless mystery it is, in the boredom and pain of it, no less than in the excitement and gladness. Touch, taste, smell your way to the holy and hidden heart of it. Because in the last analysis, all moments are key moments, and life itself is grace. That's juicy. So for me, that speaks to kind of what seems to be our theme this morning, being present. Being present to all that is. I told Jane that one of my points of clarity in the midst of all this is I am really clear that I want to do more of what I love and less of what I don't. That I really want to savor my life. I want to savor it. All of this has brought to mind that life is precious. And life is juicy. And life is messy like a good piece of watermelon. Right? Delicious and sweet and drippy and, and that I just want to savor it. I want to live my life from this point forward, savoring it, instead of always waiting till the next thing, always moving towards the next thing. Always, I have to wait until this happens, and I have to do this first, I have to do that first. I want to be able to be present to my life and to savor it. Other thoughts about this attending to life. So this lesson, I think from these words of wisdom, is about attending to our lives. So how do we do that? How do we attend to the present moment?
Make every moment count.
Make every moment count. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing that talks about that every moment's the best moment. And I think sometimes we don't even realize that one moment can be a defining moment for someone else. Like, it's not always, fireworks. I love that. Other thoughts about attending to our life. How do we keep ourselves from being present? So right now we're not having much of a choice because we have some people dictating where we can go and how many of us there can be in a space. But what happens when all of and life settles into a different pace? How do we stay present? Think. Slow down. Observe.
Pump the brakes.
Pump the brakes. I love that. Yes.
I'm gonna read this because it answers your question. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment.
Don't dwell in the past. Don't dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present. Woo-hoo-hoo. What are some like practical practices that will help you stay present no matter what's going on? What are some practical things that you can do? Meditate. What else?
Get out of my own head.
And what is one way you get out of your own head?
When to and from work, I listen to piano music, actually.
Okay.
Calms me down and makes me focus a little bit more and slow down.
Nice. So Judy says to and from work, she listens to piano music that helps her stay out of her head and be really focused and present with who she is. Awesome. Another practical practice that will help you stay present.
Sunshine.
Sunshine, being out in the sunshine. Hallelujah. Yes.
Be who you are, not who you are.
Oh, be who you are, not who you are expected to be. What's one thing that you do that helps you do that, Marge, that helps you be authentically you?
Always look on the sunny side.
That's true. Anyone that knows Marge Martinell, though, you know that she always looks on the sunny side, right? She always looks for the blessing. Goes back to that gratitude that Gary talked about later. For me, that's a practice for being present too. To pause. One of the things that I have loved about us being online, even though I miss people, like when you guys walked through the doors today, I realized how much I missed your physical presence. Even at 6 feet away, I still really miss just seeing you, physically seeing you and being in your presence. But one of the things I have appreciated about being online is I made a commitment early on that we would do something every day to help people connect. And so during the week, we do a purposeful pause at noon. And it's a live meditation that I do that's 30 minutes. And that has created in me now a habit of stopping in the middle of the day. And part of that meditation, I always make sure we do count your blessings, that we stop and count our blessings. And it's like a reset, whether the day's good, bad, indifferent, whatever. that stopping at noon long enough to be quiet, to read the daily word, and think about blessings has really been a reset for me. And so that's a practice I hope to continue. We have time for one or two more. Does anybody else like to share their pearl of wisdom? Helen wants to share hers, and then Di's going to share hers.
Nelson Mandela. If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Nelson Mandela. Oh, okay. Di's going to hand me hers because it's really long. So think about that. What happens if you go too fast? What has been our lesson? What's been your lesson during COVID-19? When you haven't had a choice but to stop going. What happens when we go fast? We miss a lot of the details. What else? You wish you'd done it differently. Yeah. What? You make mistakes because you're in a hurry. Yeah. What is the value in going together? What's the value?
Unity.
Unity. What else? What's the value in going together?
Power in numbers.
There's power in numbers, right? Like I'm going to tell you, I feel some energy that I've been missing having you guys in the sanctuary with me this morning. It's a little different having you here and having your energy join with my energy than it is when I'm sitting alone in my room.
I was going to say high vibration people joining together, just like when I sat by your house and we left feeling better. You know,
Yes. Yes.
we were able to have a short conversation and share things, and it was nice.
Yeah. So something about high vibration people, when we come together, we create a higher vibration. We lift each other up when we are together. We lift each other up. We provide support for one another. Absolutely. We create connection when we do it together. We create connection. All right, I specifically, so I sent Sue an email and said, Sue, there's this quote that you have that I really like. Will you send me some pearls of wisdom? And she sent me a bunch. And I found the one that I was talking about. Last summer, she had given me a little piece of paper with a Chinese proverb written on it, and I loved it. And Di got it. So I'm glad you got it, Di, because it really has been meaningful to me. If there is light in the soul, there will be beauty in the person. If there is beauty in the person, there will be harmony in the house. If there is harmony in the house, there will be order in the nation. If there is order in the nation, there will be peace in the world. Wow. How many of you would like to see world peace? Yeah. How many of you want harmony in your homes? Yeah. Helen and I have a master teacher that we follow, Dr. Darren Weissman. And he says his pearl of wisdom is world peace through inner peace. And it's that lesson of we have to be aware of our own light. We have to allow our own light to shine. And when we shine our light, I believe it ignites the light in others. And it just gets stronger and stronger. I love that the world, that Mother Earth is being reborn during this time of quiet. We were noticing yesterday when we were paddling how much more vibrant the trees are. Like they're just so green. and just how more alive the forest was. Like we saw so much more wildlife this year than last year at this time when we were out hunting. And so it's amazing to me that as we have turned within, as we've been forced to kind of deal with our stuff that's bubbled up, and as we have cleared, the earth has cleared. So I believe that this has been a time of cleansing for all of us, a cleansing for the earth, a cleansing for us, and just we are walking into a new way of being, a new way of being. So let's take that. I'm going to read my comments. Oh, good. People said they could hear us. Oh, Bill Hackett says, learning from my mistakes. Bonnie said, recognizing and appreciating the beauty of the sunset, the clouds of the birds singing. Bill Hackett said, be bold and mighty forces come to your aid. I like it. Marcia, God is my source. The pen is in my hand and a new day is dawning for me. Yeah. Susan Heine said, and I will turn all my mountains to roads. Stay present by saying what you are grateful for. Yeah. All right, let's take those pearls of wisdom into meditation. So I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths. Get settled where you are. Then just close your eyes or cast your gaze downward. Breathing in, I let go and trust. Breathing out, the divine in me. Breathing in, I let go and trust. Breathing out, the divine in me. Breathing in, I let go and trust. Breathing out, the divine in me. When faced with a decision to make, do my thoughts turn immediately to divine guidance? Or do I seek God's help only when all else fails? Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore wrote that God loves to be used. And the more you use God, the more easily you use God, and the more pleasant God's help becomes. It matters not what name we call that which created us. The presence of pure beingness, Source, Buddha, Allah, all that is. This energy, this life force, this creation lives in me, expresses through me. All that God is, I am. All of the love, imagination, power, judgment, understanding, zeal, faith, life, order, wisdom, strength, all of God's attributes are as near to me as my next breath, my next thought. I release my attachment to limited human reasoning. I center my mind and heart on the constant flow of divine love, wisdom, understanding, and strength. In the divine flow, within my own inner God positioning system, I find answers to questions. New possibilities emerge. I move forward with confidence. From there you will seek the Lord your God, and you will find him if you search after him with all your heart and soul. We breathe in. We breathe into that inner wisdom within us. We breathe in, opening our hearts, our minds, and our souls. To that still small voice, to that intuitive knowingness, to that gut feeling that is there at the ready to guide and direct us. As we breathe into the silence, we listen. We listen in the silence. We breathe in, knowing that when we cultivate wisdom, we look for the story versus the truth. We lean into our spiritual practices, quiet our minds, and open our hearts. We listen to the inner voice for guidance. We breathe in knowing that we are divine wisdom. That no matter what decision we are making, no matter what life circumstance we are in, big or small, that we can always draw upon our infinite divine resource, our own God positioning system. We breathe in, going forth from this place, carrying the light of wisdom and shining it everywhere we go. And so it is. Amen. When you're ready, open your eyes. Oh. It has been fun to be back together again with everyone. And now it's time in our midst where we celebrate the abundance that flows to us, through us, and from us. We have been so blessed at how faithful and generous so many of you have been, even though we've been apart, and we are so grateful for that. Unity of Fort Wayne thrives because of your commitment to helping us stay open. And so if you are online with us, you can go to our website, unityfw.org, and donate there. You can also download the app. We would love it if everybody that's a part of our collective community would download the app. If you're a smart user, if you have a smartphone, which there are very few flip phones that exist. I know a few of you out there probably have them. Nancy raises her hand. She has one. If you have a smartphone, you just go to the App Store and put in Unity FW, and it will pull up our app. You'll see our little emblem, our little Unity emblem. You'll recognize it, and you can download the app. Marsha Wolpe has done a fabulous job figuring out how to connect people with that app. So every time one of us is on live on YouTube, she puts the link up there. She sends reminders out. All of our calendar events are on there, and that's an easy access point for any of our videos. So all of our most recent videos are right on that app. You just push a button and it'll take you right to the video so that you can participate in meditation at any time of day. And so you can hear the lessons that we've been doing on Sundays anytime that you want. So I'm going to invite you to take your offering, or take your hand and put it on your heart as we say our blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful. And as my friends that are in the sanctuary with me this morning, on both exits, there are baskets, and you can just drop your money into the basket, and that would be so appreciated. So some really kind of quick announcements. I know there was some difficulty with folks getting on YouTube Live, and I wish I was smart enough to give you the remedy for that, and I'm not. However, I do know this. I know that if you go to our YouTube channel, which is Unity Fort Wayne, and you like us, you subscribe to us, I know for a fact that every time we are on, including Sunday mornings, you will get a notification on your phone. And then all you have to do is push the button. So the easiest access to our YouTube channel on Sunday mornings at 10:30 is to subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe to the channel, it's pretty much foolproof. It will immediately take you to anything we're doing live if you subscribe to the channel. So that's really the easiest, quickest, simplest way for you to find us on Sunday mornings. Other ways are, I understand that sometimes the link works, sometimes it doesn't. If you just go directly to our channel, that will also, if we're live, it'll pull it up. It should pull it up immediately. So please know that that is really the best solution that we have at this time. Thank you for your grace and your patience. And those of you online who were persistent this morning, thank you for being persistent. We are back in the sanctuary. Everybody in the sanctuary is going to say hello to you because I'm going to pan. Everybody wave to all of our friends. Yay. So you can see that our chairs are 6 feet apart. There are 25 of them. We are pretty determined we won't turn anyone away. If we have to, we will set additional chairs up out in the narthex and out in the little entryway so that you can still hear the service and still be here. So if you are comfortable with coming, we want you to be able to come. There is plenty of space. There's hand sanitizers. We've done everything possible to make this a safe space for you to return to. We've already talked about the Purposeful Pause at noon on YouTube Live, Monday through Friday. Susan does Wednesday coverage for me, so she gets a little taste of that. Monday and Wednesday nights, Bob and I do evening meditation. I have Monday nights at 6. He has Wednesday nights at 6. That is on Zoom, and you can find that on our app or on our MailChimp. And Tuesdays at 1 o'clock until, at least until July, Susan is meeting on Zoom with anybody that wants to join her for conscious conversations. This is in place of the transitions group that used to meet here on Tuesdays. All right, let's stand. We're not going to hold hands, but we're going to put our hands in prayer position, knowing that we are holding one another as we say the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am divine. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And we're going to sing. We're going to keep all of our germs to ourselves. I just can't bear the thought of us not singing. So we're going to sing the peace song. And if you're at home and you know it, please join us. Go in peace and be wise. Thank you.